Today, I was playing around with my imagination. And in doing that, I really wanted to kind of test some of the things that Neville has said about imagination. And, pretty much the saying goes that when it comes to your imagination, there's no such thing as no. There's no one in there to tell you no. You're basically the true authority in imagination. You can hear anything you want, you can see anything you want, you can do anything you want. So I actually encourage you to do the same because something about really, really pushing it. I mean, to the point to where you just create the craziest scenario, obviously a positive one, but create like just the most insanely positive scenario that's just so out of the box that it's just like it would have to happen in imagination because in the outside world, there's just no way you can make that happen. Once you do that, and you actually commit to it and you go all the way through and then you see not only did you just do it, there was nobody to stop you. In my particular situation, it was a conversation. So to practice, I had a conversation with a famous person. And one thing I noticed once I got done imagining the conversation with the famous person, there was no one to stop me from having the conversation. There was no one in there to contradict my conversation. And said person that I was talking to didn't stop or the conversation didn't break. Nothing happened to make me believe that conversation was, number one, not only like not happening, but as if it didn't feel scripted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It didn't feel like a robot was reading a script that I handed to them. Everything from the responses, the flow of the conversation, it felt real. But you know what that proved to me? We really do not give our imaginations enough credit for the fact of imagination can truly grant us anything. So the reason why I'm starting with that is because I wanted to basically use that to help you understand that when you're using imagination, you're basically building your inner world. You're molding your inner self. And you have the option and authority to mold all of that however you want. You don't have to ask permission. You don't even really have to insert anybody else's opinion on it because it really just is you in there. And I know that's probably been said 1,000 times, but you're not going to really believe it and you're not going to see how true it is until you just do it. I've done insane things to where I've imagined myself swimming underwater like Aquaman or, flying to Mars. But the point of all that is it's just me. And there's nobody there to tell me I can't do it. Other than just me. So I want to say this. The title of today's message is Don't Catch Amnesia. And I want this to kind of be your motto moving forward when it comes to the things that you imagine, when it comes to the new states that you decide to enter, when it comes to the things that you give yourself, the inner you, the real you. So for a moment, I want you to think about you have absolutely everything you could ever want in your life, right? And I mean everything. When you go to bed and wake up the next day, would you forget that you have everything that you want? Or would you wake up and remember, holy crap, this is another day that I get to wake up and experience everything, having everything that I want? So I've realized that when it comes to doubt and reason, the tricky thing behind all that is, in a way, it gives us amnesia. And what I mean by that is this. So I'll just use a new car, for example. Let's just say I decided to imagine that I had a new car. The new car didn't go anywhere. Once I've given myself a new car, it's always going to be in the exact same spot that I left it. In my mind, in my imagination, I have it. It's always there. But the thing that's weird about doubt and reason is when I go back to dealing with the 3D world and I see that that's not there, I lock in so heavily to the three-dimensional world that for a minute, I almost swap the two. And then I completely forget that not only do I have the car, I forget where the car was. And then I sink so much into the three-dimensional world and paying attention to the senses and what I see, and that convincing me that no, this is what you really have, that I forget not only where I had it, but that I had it in the first place. And then when I go back into imagination, it's almost like I'm going back to emptiness. When the truth is, there was never emptiness to begin with. So the reason why I want to share this with you today is because I truly understand that when you give yourself something in imagination, doubting and going back to reason is like catching amnesia and you're giving it back. But the only person who can take something away from you or give it away is you. Because if I go into my imagination and I notice, oh my God, like I don't have X, Y, and Z, that's only because I'm imagining that it's not there. But the moment I collect myself, calm down, and go back to imagining it, it's literally there instantly. I've counted insane amounts of money in imagination just for the fun of it, just to prove to myself that I could do it. But the crazy thing is, every time I imagined $100 bill, it was just there. And that's the beautiful thing about imagination. It's just there. It's all you, no one but you. And there is no limit to what you can have, be, or do. So this message will be a little short today, but I just want to stress to you, do not allow doubt and reason to be the thief of joy. Don't catch amnesia. When you build the perfect life, when you shape yourself into a way that you can be absolutely proud of in your imagination, don't catch amnesia and don't give it back.